Good afternoon, everybody. Getting set now for a three-part Armour All qualifying session for the OTR SuperSprint at the Bend.
Second one is really not so. Big lock-up. Almost off the road there for Davison. That was very close to going off the road. And that's wrecked his lap. Second last corner, Davison has wrecked the lap. He got away from Bryce Forward through the lap, but he's going to do another one now.
So some people don't even have a time recorded against their name, so they're leaving it to the absolute last moment. Now, sometimes they're in search of the best possible grip at that point in the session.
We'll pick this up in a second, but for Will Davison, this is an immensely important lap for him. Golding comes up 6 spots, but only gets him to 21st.
So this guy's a championship contender. He's had more Armour All pole positions this year than any other driver, and he's clinging on by his fingernails at the moment. The time against his name is a 1:49.6. He's in 22nd position. He just scrambled across the line. And if the Richard Holway track evolution theory holds up here, he might be okay, but he is dealing with traffic as well. So what does this look like now for Will Davison? And it gets him into the top 20, but just, he's 17th. He went up a bunch of spots, but Jake Kostecki's just displaced him, so he's still in the danger zone. Mustangs being strong at this location chat that we've been having for the last half a day. We'll see what this looks like, but that number that he achieved in that previous part of Armour All qualifying was a good indicative start to the fact that they've got underlying strength, because he's in a serious arm wrestle at the moment with Shane Van Gisbergen, as evidenced at the last corner last time we raced at Townsville. At the moment, the cumulative for Zach is better than anybody else, but he didn't quite get there in the last sector, so he'd used the tyres at that point. So still a 1:48.3. That lap that we just witnessed was an 8.6, so it was about 3/10 slower than his best. And then it's lively in the front.
Cam Waters is about to do the fastest lap, and he does. He's the first man to go into the sevens this weekend, a 47.9. Gaps the field by 0.34. Beautiful lap, Cam Waters. And David Reynolds at the death knock jumps in, comes up 8 spots to 7th. Nice lap, David.
So
48.55.
Heimgartner's out because we saw him standing in the garage. Feeney's out. Winterbottom's out at this stage. Flag's out, so people are just completing their laps. We're riding with Brock. Oh, and he squeezes up 2 spots into 10th. Yeah. But it doesn't count because all the times go back to 0 now for this session. Anton's done an 8.1, so he's put a marker down that's pretty healthy. That must be pretty close to his best.
I think it is, actually. Yeah. And we talk about best, because this is going to be good if he can make this thing get onto the straight and I seen use every little bit of road without putting those left-hand tyres into the dirt. Zach Best does the fastest lap of the weekend of 47.81. That is very, very cool. No wonder the joints erupted.
Yeah.
That is very, very clever.
And they're at the other end. They're at pit in relative to the rest of the Tickford group, which are up near pit out, so that the rest of the squad don't really get a chance to fully celebrate. That is outstanding. I posed the rhetorical question before. What's he going to do? What can he produce? Is it going to be a number? That's an outstanding number that many of the hardheads will not achieve.
Yep, 100%. So really, his teammate Cam Waters in the previous session is the only one with enough form to have done a 7 so far.
Well, that was a 7.9.
Yeah. So fastest lap of the weekend to a wild card member of the field this weekend. He's only 20 years of age. He's been doing a great job in Super 2 in our development series, but he's been put in one of the lead cars and he has absolutely responded at a racetrack that's one of the most difficult of the year.
That car is right on the nervous edge, and this is a big one to play for. And his opposition, he would not have thought that he has to battle Zach Best for an Armour All pole today. Van Gisbergen is our championship leader, and he is throwing everything at this. So far, with 4 Armour All pole positions this year. Out of the final corner, that car looked like a handful in the middle of the racetrack. Is this going to be enough? No! Zach Best has an Armour All pole position. How great! Van Gisbergen misses out by 0.02 of a second. What a story. What an unbelievable story at Tailem Bend for Zach Best. And Tim Edwards and that group of people are going to have to run down from the other end of pit lane to come down and congratulate this man who's right beneath our feet in the commentary box. And that is one of the biggest upsets in the modern era of supercar racing. What a story. It's blown them away. Courtney and Edwards can't believe what they're looking at. And what a job. What an extraordinary performance from the 20-year-old from Benalla. Great moment in our sport to see someone so young, who's so fresh and new in the game, being able to achieve something so big. Getting one of these cars onto pole position anywhere, anytime is huge. Doing it at this racetrack, even bigger, Mark Scaife.
Absolutely, Cropper. Couldn't explain it any better. It's one of the most complex and difficult racing venues in the country, and he's beaten the very best today. What an unbelievable story.
So we've played the one-lap game. What's it going to pan out like this afternoon for roughly 120-odd kilometres of racing? It'll be 24 laps on the highly complex racetrack. So here's a replay of the back end of the lap. When we saw the number, Mark and I looked at each other, a 47.8. They erupted inside the Tickford garage, well, the other Tickford garage. And this young man has put together something very, very special. He grabs the cash for Armour All.